Hi everyone, so this is the Unit 6 Mid-Unit Assessment Corrections. For those of you that haven't done corrections before, you're going to correct only the questions that you missed, and then you will take a whole new test of all the questions from this standard, but they'll be different questions. So it won't be the same questions again, but it'll be different questions on the same standard. All right, so we've got 3x minus 7 equals 14. So I'm going to add 7 because I'm trying to undo every operation. So if I subtract 7, the opposite is to add 7. So I have 3x equals 21. I'm going to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I'm left with just x. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So my answer should have been D. Which value of x makes the following equation true? So I'm going to start by subtracting off my constant. So I end up with x divided by 9 equals 4. From there, I'm going to multiply by 9 on each side of my equation. It's a 9. Okay, so 9 divided by 9 leaves me with x. 4 times 9 is 36. All right, now we get into some negative numbers. So negative 4x minus 9 equals negative 13. So I'm going to add 9 to each side. So I've got negative 4 equals negative 4x. So I'm going to divide by negative 4. A common error that I'm seeing from some of you is that you're dropping the negative sign. So when you've got that negative 4x, that negative sign goes with the 4. Okay, negative 4 divided by negative 4 leaves me with just x. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is positive 1. So you should have gotten C. Which expression is equivalent? So remember, expression does not have an equal sign. So we've got 4 parentheses 2x minus 3. So 4 times 2 and then 4 times negative 3. 4 times 2 is 8. I bring the x along for the ride. 4 times negative 3 is negative 6. So I should have had 8x minus 6. Oh my goodness, I did that wrong. 4 times 3 isn't 6. 4 times 3 is 12. It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm a little bit sleepy. Goodness gracious. So 8x minus 12. All right. Which expression is equivalent? So now you're using a fraction. We're going to use it the same exact way. 1/2 times 4x. So half of 4 is 2 with an x. We're just bringing the x along for the ride. Half of 8 is 4. So plus 4. So 2x plus 4. Now, what is the solution to the equation? So now we're going to this is not an expression. We have to actually solve this one out. So half of 3 would be 1.5. Or you could get 1.5, whatever works for you. Half of 4, and this is a negative 4, so half of negative 4 would be negative 2 equals 7. So if I subtract 2, I'm going to add 2 to each side. So now I have 1.5x equals 9. So I'm going to divide by 1.5 on each side of my equal sign. And in my handy dandy calculator, I'm pretty sure that the answer is 6, but I just want to double check. In my handy dandy calculator, I'm going to do 9 divided by 1.5. And yep, I get 6. X equals 6. All right, 2/3 x times negative 9. So 2/3 would be 2/3 x. 2/3 times negative 9 would be minus 6. because 2/3 times 9 is 6. And then you bring the minus sign down because a positive times a negative is a negative, equals 12. Then I'm going to add 6 to each side. Oh man, we actually did this one on a cool down. Okay, so 2/3 x equals 18. I'm going to divide by 2/3. Well, not this exact one, but pretty close. 2/3 divided by 2/3 is 1. 18 divided by 2/3 is going to give me x equals 27. And you can divide that out in a calculator. What is the value of y when -5 equals y minus 7, all divided by 9? Now, these are those special two-step equations that we talked about at the beginning of the unit. Remember when I talked about clearing my denominator? These are those special types when y minus 7 is completely divided by 9. So I'm going to multiply by 9 on each side first to clear that denominator. So I get -45 equals y minus 7. Then I'm going to add 7 to each side. -45 plus 7 is going to give me -38. And you have a calculator, so you can work that out. All right, what is the value of the equation? So this is just a one-stepper. Right now we're dividing m by 0.5, and that's going to equal -0.4. So I'm going to multiply by 0.5 on each side. So m equals definitely a negative number, because when the signs are different, it's going to be negative. And then 0.4 times 0.5 is going to give me 0.2. What is the first step for solving a z in the equation? Okay, first step. So my first step is going to be to add 4, because I want to get rid of that constant. And I'm going to do it to both sides of my equation. So let's take a look. So I didn't subtract 4, multiply, or divide. I added 4 to both sides. Which of the following describes how the value of x can be found in 2 steps? Okay, so we have x divided by 3 plus 4 equals 1/2, right? So our first step is going to be to subtract 4 from each side. So now we have x divided by 3 equals -3/2. Then we're going to multiply each side by 3. I think I'm at the edge of my paper. Times 3. Okay, so let's see here. We have to subtract 4, so it can't be C or D. Then we multiplied both sides, not by 1/3, but by 3. So it had to be A. Lisa wants to apply the distributive property to the following equation, which shows her next step. So I'm doing 4/5 x, and then 4/5 times -10. Well, 4/5 times -10. I can put that in my calculator, and I'm going to get -8, and that's all going to be equal to 20. Because remember, the 4/5 isn't touching the 20. So it should have been B. A plumber charges an initial $75 trip fee. So that's the constant, the initial trip fee. Plus $60 for every hour worked. So every single hour they work, he gets $60. So 60x plus 75 is going to give me my answer. How much does the plumber charge for 4 hours of work? Well, I can really erase that 4. because I know x is 4 in this case. So 60 times 4 would be 240 plus 75. Well, 240 plus 75 is going to give me $315. When Carrie mows the lawn, she charges a flat fee. So that's the constant, the flat fee, and an hourly rate. Carrie worked 2 hours on her last job, and the equation 2R plus 5 equals 20 represents it in dollars. What Carrie charged. What is her hourly rate? So now we just have to solve that equation. 2R plus 5 equals 20. So I'm going to subtract 5 on each side. And it's money, so I have to have 2 places behind my decimal money. So $7.50. A farm allows customers to cut down their own Christmas trees. The farm uses the equation y equals 15x plus 10 to determine the total charge y based on the number of trees x. The customer was charged $4.60. So that's going to be my y. So that's what I'm going to plug in for my y. So $4.60 equals 15x plus 10. How many trees did the customer purchase? Well, trying to get that x by itself. So x equals 30. Because 450 divided by 15 is 30. Seems like a lot of trees. Okay, Janet rented a golf cart for $15 plus $16 per hour. So $15 just for renting the cart plus $16 for every hour. She spent a total of $111 to rent the cart. Which equation can be used to determine the number of hours H Janet rented the golf cart? Well, I know it's got to have a 16H on it, so it can't be A or B. And I know it's got to be plus that 15 because it says plus right there, so it's got to be C. Mr. Brown purchased tires for his car. The tires were $75 each, including tax, plus $10 for installation. So $75 each, plus $10 for installation. The $10 is that constant, that flat fee. Mr. Brown paid $160 for the tires and installation. Which equation can be used? Well, I know that the 75 is going to have the T on it. So the only one with 75T is C. All right. So once you've done your corrections, you're going to take a picture of it and send it to me through Canvas. You're going to send me pictures of it, and we're going to set up a time when you can do a retake. Now remember, the questions aren't going to be the same, so you want to make sure that you know how to do all these different kinds of questions because your retake grade is what your retake grade is. I'll take the higher grade of the two. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.